In this video I'll be discussing on how you can use Google Forms as a tool for your online assignments, so that the questions which you give to the students are automatically evaluated. You don't have to take the pain of correcting all the answers submitted by the students individually. Okay, so the first thing which you need to do is you need to go to your web browser, which is Chrome. Suppose I click on Chrome and then type in forms.google.com. okay, so click enter. Once you click enter, a blank form will load like this. Make sure that your account which you are using for your online classroom is selected. If you can verify this by clicking on this image icon on the top right corner, and then selecting the account which you want to use, which you are using for the online classes. Okay, online Google Classroom. Now once you know that this particular form is created by your ID which you are using, now there are a few settings which you need to do to this particular Google form before you can use it as a self-assessing tool. Now click on the three dots which you see on the top right corner. From here you have to click on settings. In the general tab which you see over here, you click on collect email addresses and then response receipts and select always. Then click limit to one response, so that every student can only attempt this particular assignment once. Then move on to the presentation tab just beside the general tab. Over here make sure nothing is checked, and then in the confirmation message you can type in any message which you want the student to see after they have submitted their assignments. If you don't want them to see any message, this is the default message which will be shown, which is seen on the screen. Your response has been recorded. Okay, then move to the right of the presentation tab and click on quizzes. Now when you click on quizzes, make sure that make this a quiz is enabled, and then leave other options as they are. Okay, now click on save. Once it is saved, now you have to name this particular Google form. That means you have to name this worksheet, give this worksheet a name. So what you need to do is you click on this top untitled form, the top one which is says, click on that and write in the name of this worksheet. So you can give it any name, like suppose, okay, I'm giving it suppose a name force. And then when you click on the untitled form which is just below that, you will see that the name will automatically change. Okay, so the names are matching now. The next thing which you need to do is you click on form description over here and then type in any instruction which you want to give to the student. Suppose attempt the given questions and click on submit. After submitting, you can see your score. This is just a general example of a instruction which you can give. You can give your own instruction. Then you will see an email address column mentioned. Leave it as it is, because we are collecting the email address of the student, so leave it as it is. Then what you need to do is you need to click on this untitled question which is, you can see at the bottom, and then type name over here, because we'll be collecting the name of the students also. Now as soon as you type name, you can see the name field is actually the type is selected as short answer over here, and that is what we want. Okay, leave everything as it is and just click on required over here, because we want every student to fill this particular part. Then again click on plus, and now we want to ask the user to enter the class which they belong to, class and section. Now since we have merged a few sections in the online Google Classroom, we need to mention, suppose if we are doing this for class 5 and you see there are 5 sections of class 5 who will be given the same assignment, then you give 5 different options over here. So when you type class and section, go to the type of question which it is. Now it is showing short answer, just click on that and do multiple choice, select multiple choice, and then under option 1 click on option 1. Here you can mention 10A suppose, and then click on add option. You can mention 10D. You mention all the sections which you will be assigning this assignment to. Mention all these things. Okay, once it is done, go down and then click on required. Now you are ready to add questions to this form. Okay, now in order to add questions, click on this plus icon. Now there are different types of questions which you can put over here. Now if you want to put a normal MCQ type question, you can write like this, like 1. So you give a question number over here and then write who is our national animal, suppose, and then the type of options. I'll be giving 4 options to the student, suppose. Then the type of question should be multiple choice. Then in the option 1 you have you can put in the names of the animals you want, suppose elephant. Add option, and then add your second option, suppose a lion. Click on add option and add your third option, suppose tiger, and then the fourth option you can enter, suppose donkey. Okay, once you are done, you click on required, and then now since you have given a question you want the Google form to correct this answer automatically, you have to provide an answer to this particular question. In order to do that, you have to click on this blue tick icon which is just to the left of required. Click on this blue tick icon, and now the first thing which you need to do is you need to assign how much marks this particular question carries. So you can see 0 points mentioned. Just type in 1 or 2 or whatever marks you want this question to be of. After you have written that, then select the answer out of these 4 options. What is the answer? So suppose tiger, I'm selecting tiger, so that should be marked with green. You can select any of these answer. The correct answer you have to select. Now once the student attempts this particular question, and the student may get this answer right or may get this wrong. So if you want to give any automatic feedback to the student, like suppose if he has answered correctly, you want this particular message to be displayed. If the student has answered wrong, this is the message you want to display. Then you click on add answer feedback, and then incorrect answers you can enter feedback. That means this is the feedback the student will see if he answers incorrectly. Okay, so you can mention over here tiger is the national animal. You can look up page, suppose 53 of your book. Okay, you can give any particular feedback. If this will be displayed only if the answer submitted by the student is incorrect. Then click on correct answers and then type a feedback for when he answers correctly. So we can write suppose well done. Okay, and once done you click on save. Now you should be able to see the feedback for correct answer and feedback for incorrect answer under the question. Once this question is done, click on done. Now you have the first question done. Now if you want to add the second question, click on the plus icon again, and now suppose you want to give an MCQ which has images. Suppose this is especially for junior sections. If you are giving a question and you want the student to identify which of these is a tiger, suppose I'm giving a question, which of these is a tiger. Mention the question number here, suppose question 2. Now I want it to be an MCQ. I'll be giving 4 options, but the MCQs will not have a name but have an image. So in order to do that, you can see option 1. Beside option 1 you can see there's a small box. You click on that box, this box. It will open up this page. Now you go slide to the right, extreme right of it. You will see Google image search over here. Click on that, and then in the search type in Suppose different animals which you will be displaying, suppose elephant. So once different images of an elephant comes, you can select any of them. Suppose I select this particular image and click on insert. So the first option will be seen as this particular. Okay, now for the second option you can again click on add option, and then again click on this small box to the right of option 2, and then again go to the Google image tab, and then suppose I'm searching for tiger, and I select this image. Suppose click on insert, and under option 2 I'll have this image. Option 3, suppose again I click on the box and I select another animal over here. Suppose lion. I select this image, insert, and then the fourth option, suppose I click on add option again, option 4, beside option 4 this box, and then I go to Google image search again and I type in suppose giraffe or a camel. Suppose click on insert. So I have all the 4 options, 4 images over here. Now the next thing is I click on required, and then again I have to select which of these is correct. So I click on this blue tick icon to the left, and then I first assign a point over here, so 1 point, and then I select, suppose this is the correct answer, and then I can add an answer feedback for incorrect and correct as well. Now that is up to you to add. For correct answer you can always write the same thing like well done, so you can copy paste that thing, and for incorrect you can always mention whatever you want to mention. I'm not mentioning anything over here. Okay, just click on save. So again this part is done. So you can, this is how you can add an image based option over here. Click on done. Next, if I'm showing you, suppose you click on plus, I'm showing you another type of question. Now suppose this is a question where you want the student to see an image. Suppose that is a question for chemistry or for physics containing certain formulas or equations which you cannot write or type over here, suppose. Okay, then in such cases what you do is, beside the question you can again see that small box to the right. You click on that and then click on browse from here. Now you must have already taken the image of the question you are going to put, or you can click on camera and take a picture of the question which you want to put. Right now I have already taken a picture of that, so I'm going to files, and from here I'm selecting, suppose, this particular image. So you can see this particular question, this is question 3, so I'm just mentioning question 3, suppose over here. I hope this is question 3, and then the image, you can see the image is shown over here which contains the 4 options also. But in such cases, whenever there are equations or any formulas in options, you can always take an image like this of all the 4 options. Then what you do is, under the options, under the answer options, you just mention over here like A, option B, second option you click B. Okay, I'm just mentioning it in capital. Option, third option C, fourth option D. Okay, so the questions have already been given and the options already given, so the students will be selecting either A, B, C or D from here. Okay, this is especially for science questions which cannot be typed on the screen. Now then you click on required, and then again you have to select which of these is correct. Suppose you click on the tick icon, and then suppose I assign a point which is 1 point, 1 marks for this, and suppose out of these 4 options B is correct, so I select B. And similarly I give a feedback. If I want to add a feedback, I add a feedback, otherwise I skip this part, and then I click on done. Okay, now I hope I have covered the different types of MCQs you can add. Now coming to the fill in the blanks or true false type questions which you can add over here. Suppose I give a true false answer, I click on plus over here, then I click on, suppose I put in a question, suppose sun is the ultimate source of energy. Okay, now I want to give 2 options to the student, either this is true or false. Then again I can go with the multiple choice option. So in the first option I'll give true, the second option I'll give false. Okay, now again I click on required, because this every student has to attempt this, and out of this I have to select the answer. So I click on the blue tick again, I give a marks for this, and then I select suppose true as the answer. I can give the answer feedback, click on done. Okay, now what if I want to add a fill in the blanks type question? So again I click on this plus, and suppose this is the 5th question, a fill in the blanks type question. So I give suppose a question like dash. Okay, click this underscore sign for dash. Okay, is the capital of India. Okay, now suppose I want the student to answer to enter the answer and not give him any choice. Okay, so what I do is I click on the type of question, which now it shows multiple choice. I click on that and I select short answer. Okay, short answer, and now I am expecting the student to answer, to write in some word as the answer. Suppose they will be entering New Delhi is the capital of India. So I click on required over here, and then I have to give in some options, some answers which I am looking for. This I have to provide few alternate answers to the Google form so that they can check this particular question. So I click on this blue tick, marks to this, I give a point to this. On the left side you can see add a correct answer is mentioned. You click on that, and suppose I'm expecting the user, the student, to enter New Delhi like this. Now he may also enter New Delhi in a different format like this. He may enter it like this, new and then Delhi with a small d. So whatever options you think the student can enter, the combinations, normally they are normally like this, like all in small or all in capital, something like this. Okay, so given the these options, we don't expect any other answers. Even if the student enters something other than these 4 options, later on we have the option to manually mark this and provide a feedback. I'll show that later on, but then whatever answer I want the Google form to automatically check, the Google form will go through these options, and if student has entered any of these, then his answer will be marked correct. Okay, you can provide an answer feedback like in the previous questions, otherwise you can skip. Okay, click on done. So fill in the blanks question is given like this. Okay, now suppose I want to put in long answer type questions over here. Okay, now long answer type questions cannot be automatically checked by Google because it contains multiple sentences and paragraphs, and their constructions can be different. Okay, this also goes for questions, one line questions, which ask for definitions like define this or do something or explain something like this. So the explanations or the definitions may vary in words, so the Google form will not be able to automatically check this. In such cases we accept what the student is giving and then manually check this through Google Forms. I'll show that. So I'm adding a long answer question, like suppose this is the 6th question, I think 6th question. Explain in details the working of a fan, suppose. Okay, you can give any question. Now you can see automatically the word explain in details, the type of question has converted to paragraph. Now it does, if it does not convert, you just click on this and select paragraph from here. Okay, so Google form is smart enough to understand what we are expecting the answer to be. So click on required, and then in this case we will not be providing any answer to the Google form because there can be various ways the student will answer case. Now once you have all the questions lined up like this, okay, now you need to do one more thing. You click on responses, and we need to do certain settings so that we get to know what the students have responded to. So the first thing is you click on these three dots over here and click on this get email notification for new responses, so that every time an answer is submitted you get an email of notifying you. Also you click on this green plus icon which is there, click on that and then click on create. Now what this does is this is creating an Excel sheet, a spreadsheet, where all the details of all the students, which date, which time, which student has attempted the question, how much they have scored, all will be stored as a data, as a separate data in this particular Excel sheet. So you can access them all from one place. So just click on create. Now once you click on create, it will open up that Excel sheet, ask you to open up that Excel sheet. You can click on Drive if you have that app installed, or you can click on Chrome also. So suppose I'm clicking on Chrome, so it will open this Excel sheet, okay, where these details of every student will be stored. Right now I don't have any responses, so it is not showing anything. I just go back, I just cross this out and then go back to my form. Now I have my form set up for accepting answers from the student. Now just go through it once so that you have an idea of whether you have marked every questions as required or not, and you have everything set up properly. Once it is set up properly, what you do is you just close this out. When you close this out, Google will automatically save this in your Google Drive. The next thing which you need to do is you need to go to, in order to send this through Google Classroom to the students, you click on this Google Classroom app, select the ID, the teacher ID which you have, okay, go to the classroom. Suppose this is a sample class I've created, I'll be putting the assignment over here. So click on classwork and then click on plus, and you click on plus, select assignment from here, and then the first thing you do is we add that particular form which we created to this assignment. So click on the paperclip icon which is, you can see on the top. So click on the paperclip icon and go to Drive, then go to My Drive, and here you must be seeing that particular form which you have created. So it may take some time, just keep on refreshing. So now you can see I've created force assignment 1. The force assignment 1 Google form is visible over here. So click on that force assignment 1 and then click on select. So that form has, that worksheet has now been assigned over here. Now you can give that same name, force assignment 1, as a title over here, force assignment 1, and then you can give an description, the same description you can give which you gave in the description of the form. So solve this and submit. After submitting, you can give any instruction, okay. After submitting, click on score to see your result, okay. Now next thing is I gave suppose 6 questions to this, so 6 marks was there, so I click on points and change the points to 6. You can give 5 or 10 questions, whatever. Click on save, and then in the due date you can give a due date, because that is advisable, so that once the due date is over, then only you can go and check in all the responses at once, okay. So suppose I give the next week as the due date, 30th of June. Now in the topic you have to always select the subject name. So click on topic, no topic, and then click on the subject name. Suppose physics, I'm selecting physics, click on save. Now you can see the assignment name, the description, the attachment, everything is there. So now I'm ready to send it to the student. So I click on this arrow sign and it will be sent to the students. So now you can see under the physics tab, the force assignment 1 on the top, you can see this particular assignment. You can click and see this assignment. Okay, it has been assigned to 2 students and this is the instructions you have given. Alternatively, you can go back to your class, Google class, and you can see this. You can see over here that force assignment 1 has been given and assigned to 2 students. And okay, now this is your view. How will the students be seeing this particular? So I'm now logging in with a student ID, suppose. So this is my daughter's email ID. So I click on the class I've been assigned, and then this is the assignment I've been given. So I click on the assignment, the student will click on the assignment, click on this attachment, and this is the questionnaire the student will be presented with. Okay, so all the star marked with red are compulsory or required fields. So the student will read the description, attempt the given question, and click on submit. After submitting, you can see your score. After that, she will be filling up all the details like email address, then the name, suppose, class and section. Out of these sections which I have provided, they will be selecting any one. Now comes the question part. So all the questions are marked with points. So who is our national animal? Suppose I give a correct answer, suppose tiger. Which of these is a tiger? Suppose I select option 2, which is the correct one. Okay, now in this, suppose I make a mistake, suppose I select option C, and in this also suppose I make a mistake, suppose I do false, and then in this I type in New Delhi all in small. Okay, they're filling in these questionnaires are visible to them like this, and they're filling in these questions. Explain in details the working of a fan. So suppose they have entered something like randomly they have entered something in paragraphs and then multiple uh, okay, I'm just putting in random values. Okay, now I don't know what has been typed, just ignore the answer I've put in. Now once the student thinks that they have solved all the questionnaires. Okay, I think I missed out on giving point to question number 6. Okay, anyways, you can always go back. Suppose I can go back and edit that form. Okay, type in forms. So this was the form. I click on that form, and I have not assigned a point to this question, so I'm assigning a point to this particular question. Explain the work details, explain in details the working of a fan. Now this is a paragraph based answer. Now what you do is, in order to assign points, you click on this blue tick icon and just assign a point over here, 1 point. Okay, don't add any feedback or anything. They will not give you an option to add answers also. Click on done. Now you can close this out. Anyways, right now, since I've opened this particular file, let me refresh, let me reload this. Okay, I'm again filling this out. Now you can see question number 6 is having a point also. I missed out on that point, so please excuse me for that. So I'm filling this out again. Okay, quickly I'm filling it, everything. Name, section, tiger, option 2, suppose C, false, and then I give New Delhi like this, and then explain in details. I'm just putting in random values. Okay, the student will be typing in the answers, whatever they want to send it to you. Okay, now they will click on, okay, once the student submits this, clicks on submit, this is the page which will open up. So the student can see the score also. So when she clicks on view score, she can see how much she has scored. Like you can see total points 3 out of 6. So she has answered 3 answers correctly, and the answers she has submitted, you can see automatically Google has corrected it. So the first answer was correct, it is marked in green, and the feedback is shown well done, because that was what we selected for correct result. The second answer again is correct, shown in green, and the feedback is also shown. The third answer is incorrect because the correct answer is B. So the Google is automatically showing the correct answer to them, because we have told them earlier what the correct answer was. Then you can see again, sun is the ultimate source of energy, the correct answer is true. I have answered false. Now you can see New Delhi is the capital of India is correct, and explain in details the working of a fan. Now this will be marked in cross. Okay, since this is marked in cross, doesn't matter, we can always correct this later on from our side, because long answers have to be corrected from our side. So 3 answers are correct as of now. We can, if we see that the last long answer is also correct, we can then change the marks from 3 out of 6 to 4 out of 6. I'll show you how to do that. So this is how the student will see the answers. If she clicks on back, if she clicks on open assignment, the classroom page will open up where the assignment was given. Now since she has submitted this, she has already solved this assignment, and the teacher has already received the mail, what they can do is they can just click on your work and click it as mark as done. Then they don't need to add anything, okay, because that form has already been sent to you. Once it is marked in as done, so the student can go back then, and it will show as handed in. The assignment has been handed in and not assigned. Okay, now you as a teacher, how will you see the answers which have been submitted and correct? Now if you see, if you go to your mail, the teacher will be getting a mail. Okay, so I'm logging in with my teacher's ID, and you can see your form force assignment 1 has new responses. Okay, a response has been submitted by Habiba Hayat. So you click on view summary. This is you as a teacher view submitted. This is the response. This is the page which will open up. Okay, and there's one response submitted, and if you want to see who has submitted the response, so you can see the email ID over here and the score over here, also the name over here. What you can do now is, if you want to see what exactly they've attempted, you go to the individual tab over here, just to the right of summary, click on individual. You can select the Gmail IDs from the drop down. If there are multiple students who have submitted the answers, you can always click on this drop down and select which answer, which students marks you want, which students worksheet you want to analyze. Now suppose I have only this particular student, so these are the details. Okay, Habiba Hayat, and the class has been selected. So these questions have automatically been corrected by the Google form. Now if I want, I can add individual feedbacks to already corrected questions also. Like suppose I want to mention that this particular question the student has attempted, he has done excellent job. You can always write well done, excellent job. You can always correct, edit the feedback. Okay, save, and you can see the individual feedback has been changed. Similarly, for this question, suppose I want to provide him with what he is missing out, what page he or she can look into. So I can add a feedback like see example 5 of your book. Suppose just any random feedback like why this was wrong. Okay, similarly I can do this for all other questions. Now coming to the long answers, and this has not been marked. Okay, you can see others have been marked like 1 by 1, 0 by 1, others have been marked. Okay, but this has not been marked because we have still not corrected it. Now once you read what the student has given, once you read over here and find that this answer is correct, suppose, then what you do is you click over here and assign a marks 1 out of 1. Okay, and then click on individual feedback and then enter the feedback well done, or any feedback you want to tell the student. Your answer is excellent, suppose, or if the answer is wrong, you mention these are the points missing in your answer. Okay, click on save. Once this is done, go back, go down and click on save over here. Okay, once saved, now you can see that the response, if you refresh this again, you can see now this has been changed to green. Question number 6 has been changed to green because we have allotted full marks to it, and since the answer was wrong. Now if the answer was, since the answer was correct, if the answer was wrong, you could have assigned 0 over there, 0 out of 1, and then mentioned what was the mistake in this answer which the student has submitted in the individual feedback. Okay, once this is done, what you do is you need to send this to the student. You go to the summary tab again. Okay, summary tab, and now you will do this once you have corrected for all the students. Now this is advisable that you do this after the due date. Suppose 30th was the submission date, you check this on the 1st of July. Suppose you go through these responses on the 1st of July and you mark them whatever marks they should have got. You can see the scores and other thing will get updated once you have updated over there. Earlier it was 3 out of 6, now it is showing 4 out of 6. Now once you have checked for all the students, you click on release scores, and here all the student IDs will be mentioned who have submitted this particular form. Now you can check all of them and it will be checked by default, so you just have to click on send emails and release. Now once you click on that, the student will be getting an email with their corrected result. So I'm logging in with the student ID now. Suppose, and now you can see over here, this is the scores released message the student will get. So score released, and what is the score? She has got 4 out of 6. Earlier when she submitted, it was showing 3 out of 6 because the wrong answer was not assessed. Now it is assessed and it is showing 4 out of 6. Now once she clicks on view, she can see all the answers and the feedback which you have provided. See, I updated this particular individual feedback and it is showing the new feedback. Okay, so Google is doing most of the work from their end. It is only for long answers which we need to do it manually, and since as ma'am has suggested that we will avoid long answers and always go for short answers or fill in the blanks or true false type questions or MCQs, it will be much easier that you once set up this particular form and put in the answers, and the rest leave it to the Google Forms to do the corrections. Okay, so with practice you'll get used to this. One more thing I want to show you is this is the student view. You can also view these submitted assignments in the spreadsheet which you created. So suppose you log in with the teacher ID again, Gmail, click on this responses view summary, and the response tab, you can again click on this plus green icon which has plus. That will take you to the spreadsheet which was created. Now you can see over here in the timestamp tab, the date is also mentioned when the student submitted the form, and the time is also mentioned when he or she attempted the form. The email address, the score, the name, the class, and all the answers are mentioned in tabular format. So even if there are 100 students, all the details will be listed down in tabular format over here. Okay, so it will be much easier for us to keep a track of which student has submitted, how much they have scored, and what are the questions they are facing difficulties in. So this was it with regards to Google Form. You can always practice this out in a dummy classroom. Make a form, add your co-teachers or your friends, suppose your child as a student over there, and see the form which you have created, how it is visible to their email IDs, how they are visible from their end, and how they are attempting, how you are receiving the responses, whether you are able to see all the things or not. If you have any doubt regarding any of the process I have demonstrated here, you can always WhatsApp me with your problem, so I'll try to help as much as possible. I hope the video was clear enough. Please go through this video one more time or twice or thrice as required, so that you become accustomed to it, and this will make your work easier. That's it.